this isn't, I'm not trying to like call out your competitors or anything like that, but just what separates out a well built train from a poorly built one? I know that's a simple question, but is it, I know, for example, in conveyor systems like rollers, you can look at one roller; they will look identical, but the wear time on one is a completely different. It's a very different manufacturing criteria that they're using to build it.
Absolutely.
Where do trains? Where is that well built train versus something that's going to last 6 years, or how? I don't even know how you'd gauge it, but how do you differentiate between the two?
Yeah, so two major things. One is the component that you're choosing, and the second is the way the component is installed. I think we can't say enough about that. That our teams of Brookville staff not only assemble the equipment well, but we also have an engineered solution behind the way it's assembled. So our team has looked at the driveline angles. What degree is that angle coming off of the yoke going into a drive shaft into this other piece of equipment? Like you would see in any vehicle you might put on the road. If you put a lift kit on something and you change those driveline angles, suddenly your U joints are going bad, that you're breaking pieces of equipment. You got to make sure that just like a mining piece of equipment is going to be in rough and tough environments down there, we need to make sure that everything has been reviewed. And sometimes it takes a little longer, costs a little bit more, but at the end of the day, if your group can assume that it's going to run a full shift without any problems, moving long wall shields or anything like that, you can believe in a Brookville, and that's really what we've done. So got great component, and it's installed correctly, and it's going to last a long time.
What about the world of battery, diesel? We're talking, of course, underground, hard rock, open pit. There's all these different types of mines that are out there. What have you got into that space? Into the battery and diesel? Have you got into any of the? We've seen some in not in the train side, but on the in other equipment where they're actually switching over. I think we've actually seen equipment go from a diesel to a battery. Have you got into any of that space?
Yeah, so it's an interesting concept, right? That it's like bell bottom jeans, right? They were in one day, out, then they're back in, right? So we did a lot of mining equipment in the '90s that were battery. Then there was a shift, went to diesel. Everybody put diesel equipment in there. Now there's a green effort out there that folks are looking at batteries again and saying, well, can we do it with a battery unit? So we've come full circle to what we've done. We did a lot of lead acid battery equipment in the early '90s, really put together regenerative brake systems with those
Mm.
batteries, extending the life of that battery in there. Now we're looking at lithium ion battery technologies, and how can that be used in different mine operations? And there's still a lot of information that's being shared with those groups. They're determining how they fit in the mine plans. There's a from coal mines to hard rock mines to all those different applications. Each one of them has to make their own decision what's the best type of equipment to run underground. But Brookville's set up and ready to build those pieces of equipment for them.